What up, though? Yes. It's on again. We right back at it. Who-Bangin Sports Talk Lounge every Friday right here on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk channel. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe today. Make sure you hit that like button too. And we're going to have some fun today. We got an action-packed show. And I got a couple of my guys in here with me right now. I'd like to introduce you guys, Mr. Big Ragoo and Mr. Dom Ricci. So, Big Ragoo, how you feeling today?
I feel like a champion, like every Friday when I come on your show. I'm feeling good. How's Dominic doing today, and how's my guy DJ doing? Dom, how are you?
Hey, you guys doing? It's a great Friday night. I'm here with my boys here. Wow, Who-Bangin Talk. This is great.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm doing great, Dom. Busy as usual, but made it in here once again, rocking and rolling. I'm always excited for this one and the Boss and the Sauce each week. A lot of the other stuff is it's a lot of work involved too. And not that I'm shying away from it, but it becomes a lot of work. You got to study, you got to stay on point and all that good stuff. And but on this show right here, I kind of get to put my guards down a little bit and really have fun with some people I really love and find out some interesting things and learn a little bit more about sports gambling as well as the sports itself. A lot of information on this show we have right here. So how you two feeling today? So for my audience members out there, Dennis Garcia, Native Queen, Alex Ramirez jumped in here first today. I'd like to let y'all know Alex Ramirez came in here first at 446.
He gets the booby prize.
I wish I had something to give him, but I do got something to get him.
We got to start doing that. We got to start giving him like we got to give him some kind of participation award. Something nice. We got, like we said, we got some gear coming, so maybe when the gear shows up, that'll be one of the first things we give away for sure.
Right.
Hey, as a matter of fact, Alex, I got a 2X Boss and the Sauce shirt. Hit me in my DM. I'll send it out to you wherever you are.
There you go.
There it is.
My goodness.
Old American.
That thing, you gotta save that thing. That thing might be worth a lot of money one day, like a Alex Rodriguez bat or something.
I would sign it, but it's black.
You gotta do a lithograph.
We're gonna keep it rocking and rolling today. We got some fine cappers up in here. We're gonna be talking hockey for a little while. Hockey has already started on us, even though tell them about the first month of hockey, Dom Ricci. I'm gonna let you give us our disclaimer about the first month of hockey.
Yeah, I'll tell you, how quick was that? All of a sudden, NHL is right on our door. I can't believe it. It feels like the Stanley Cup just ended. And time's going quick, man. Like they say, as you get older, time's going quick. But anyhow, the NHL, man, it's a long season. I always take it nice and easy the first couple of weeks. I just feel like it's such a long season. A lot of things are going to be different a few months from now. A lot of teams getting their legs underneath them. A lot of teams, new guys playing, gelling, new coaches. So I don't bet as much as I do after like December, but I still look for my spots here and there. Like last night, we had the Rangers and the over 6, which hit very easily. So that's how I look at NHL. I'm not. I'm ready for it, but I'm just being a little cautious at first. How about you, Doc?
And more or less the same, Don. I got a little feedback here. So basically, what we do with the NHL is I'm more of a spectator in the very beginning, the first couple of weeks, but I try to do some of the homework, watching the lineups and getting a feel for the teams, how they're coming together. And hockey is a very fascinating sport. For somebody that's never went to a hockey game, it's probably it's number one. It's the fastest game that they play live. If you ever go to a hockey game, it's an unbelievable event to go see. TV does not do hockey justice. You have to actually go to a game, and especially if you go to a playoff game. I've been to many a game in Madison Square Garden in my younger years, and I tell you, it's nothing like it. So I encourage everybody, if you get an opportunity, whether you're in Vegas and you want to check out the Golden Knights, or if you live in St. Louis, you live down in Florida, down in Miami, got the Panthers, wherever you live, California, go see a hockey game. It's a great time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hockey's getting bigger and bigger. I think with the legalized betting, more people now are starting to bet hockey that never even thought about betting hockey. So, I've been at it for a couple of years. I always found hockey as a nice little sport with a lot of edges, which maybe will be less and less as it more popular it gets. But I think hockey's a great sport to bet in general.
Well, the thing about hockey is, too, it's going to evolve just like any other sport, with the live betting. And they're going to have more props, more angles, more player props. And it's almost like, with the live betting, it gets the look of playing fantasy sports, more or less, because now you start breaking down the players, all the analytics, the statistics. I mean, and a lot of that information, if you're a fantasy player, you might not have looked at gambling as an opportunity to make money, because you normally thinking about sides and totals. But now with all these player props, I mean, there's huge, I'm not going to say advantages, but opportunities to go in there and try to hit these things, especially on the live aspect with these props too, because they even change those numbers. But even pregame, you get into some pregame looks, and you can see the the player props, as we do in football and any other thing that we venture off into. So that being said, hockey's just another vehicle to have fun and of course your bankroll is always important too, but that's a whole other subject.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you, my experience with hockey has pretty much been great. I started about 2 years ago myself, and I started going in saying I'm gonna back one team and see how that works out for me. I'm gonna just consistently bet that team and try to learn the ups and downs of the sport. And I backed the Vegas Knights that first year, and I made a lot of money at the beginning of that one. And I started getting a little deeper into it and listening to some of the hockey cappers, and I was like, oh, these guys got to fall off at some point. I started going on the other side, messing up the whole thing. But I should have stuck with the Knights the whole way. But I can say I probably never lost any money in hockey because most of the time I win. And every time I go to Vegas and the Vegas Knight play, I always take the Vegas Knights, just out of natural good luck type stuff. But I also took the Vegas Knights the other day. Jimmy said he was taking it. I kind of trailed Jimmy, and it was Vegas Knights again. So this year I'm already 1-0 in hockey. So I hope to get more than that, especially hanging out with you guys and doing what we do right here on the lounge. And this is a small preface to a hockey show we're gonna put together soon. And we got a long season, so we're gonna take our time, get it right.
Oh yeah.
But these are gonna be some of the guys you'll see around for the hockey thing, So stay tuned for that, and we're gonna go deeper into hockey. We're gonna bring in our first guest for hockey. Now, wouldn't do us no good to talk about hockey if we didn't bring in the other side of the border, which is our Canadian family, and we got my guy Josh Point O lined up right here backstage. I'm gonna bring Josh Point O in. We're gonna keep this conversation going. Yo, Josh.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing tonight?
You're feeling good, man. How about yourself? How you doing over there?
Excellent. Ready for some hockey. Finally started the season.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not the greatest in hockey. I'm gonna take a step back, and I'm gonna let Ragoo let y'all fire this show up on some hockey. I got a little fantasy hockey team, and I'm gonna try to follow them so I can. I didn't know what the positions was. Why did they give me 4 Ds and 2 Cs? And but I'm learning though. I'm figuring it all out slowly but surely. I gotta stay tuned to that so I can learn a little bit. But I'm gonna be walking behind you guys in this one. And do you have any background in hockey, Josh? Tell them about your background in hockey.
Personally, yeah, I do. I still play to this day, men's league now. Back in the day, I grew up playing house league mostly. I never went pro or semi-pro or anything like that. But growing up in Canada, hockey's number one, and we love playing hockey up here, man. We absolutely love it. But when I was a kid, I started a little late. I'm not going to get into that, but I was a little bit behind people at my age group, and they were steps ahead. They went on to AA and AAA, and some of them even semi-pro. Not me though. I stayed always house league and pick up teams and stuff like that because for one, money was never an issue with my family, but traveling was a huge issue. And when you go into the the rep teams, you're traveling every weekend for, not year round, but the majority of the year. And that was a big issue. Also because I started late, I was a bit behind people at my age group. Still to this day, I play every Wednesdays with my boys, my men's league, and we're in our mid-30s now. You get to a point in your life when you realize that you have absolutely 0% chance of going to the pros. But in Canada, you'll see a lot of guys, even in the States, with hockey, man, it's kind of funny. A lot of guys play like there's scouts watching you in the stands. They play with their heart out, their heart on the sleeve. They give it their all. And you know what? That's the kind of cool thing about hockey. It's all you have, man. You're not going to the pros. You're in your mid-30s. It's over. That's all you got. So you better make the most of it.
Do you think it's a fact that it's your national pastime, more or less, and at the same time, hockey's running through everybody's veins and blood in Canada, as just like I wouldn't say baseball in the U.S. because baseball is our pastime too, but football is rapidly changing that landscape. But at the same time, everybody in Canada loves hockey. I mean, when they're talking pucks, you can talk pucks all year long in Canada.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. So it's a great look. So as far as your history and growing up playing hockey, I mean, do you have certain teams that you follow in Canada, or like what's your favorite team?
The Leafs, 100%.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
So probably like 80% of Canada, I would say, is Leaf fans, right?
Yeah, big fan base. Also Montreal as well. Montreal has a huge following, and we're playing on Saturday night. Tomorrow night. That'll be a great game. So I can't wait for that.
Cool. Let me jump in here real quick, man. I want to get some of the other guys in there as soon as we can. And somebody just put up one of our guys, Parlay Poppy, really well capper. On all sides of the sports. This guy does basketball. Well, I haven't seen him do basketball. I know he does baseball well. He does hockey well. He also can put out some NFL plays. But this is our guy, low batter, one of our own, Parlay Poppy. Parlay Poppy, how you feeling today, sir? How's it going?
We are live on Friday with the crew, the Miami dudes. We're here. What's popping, everybody? I'm excited.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad to bring some of that energy over here, man.
Yes,
it's
sir.
nice to see you, man. It's been a while, man. It's always different, from talking on the phone and chatting and actually seeing my guy right there, Parlay Poppy, man. Happy to see you on this Friday, right, man. I really appreciate you pulling up. We're talking hockey today. We're getting a little background on our guy Josh Point on his hockey. What kind of background do you have on hockey? I know you're an awesome capper. Is it just capping, or did you used to play the sport, or how did you find your way on NHL?
Man, it's a long story, to be honest, how I got into this handicapping world, this confusing world, this frustrating world. I don't know if we have time for all that, but long story short, about 3.5, 4 years ago, during this time, I was into some other stuff involving capping, and then I got with hockey. Some of my guys were really good at it. And to be honest, I fucking hated watching it for the majority of the time until I started making the bucks, basically tailing these guys. And then they started losing, and then I started losing. And then all of a sudden I figured out, you know what? I'm better than these retards. Let me figure something out. Let me do my own capping. And that's what happened. Now I'm here.
It's pretty humbling when you lose, and it makes you pay a little bit more attention when you lose than when you're winning, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's how we all start, right? We all started somehow with somebody else that we saw making money, and basically tailing that mantra that they had until they start losing, you start blaming them, and then all of a sudden you take a reality check. You're like, this is my fault. What am I doing wrong? And then you adjust, get back to set.
Yeah. What about you, Josh? How'd your venture go and start getting games down on hockey? What led you to bet hockey?
Well, probably, just growing up, loving hockey my whole life and always loved watching it. And then I started betting on sports. Football was first when I started out betting, but then I'm like, I need to introduce myself to hockey. I watch tons and tons of games. Why not make some money off it? You know what I mean? So what I started doing was, team totals and puck line and stuff like that. And one of my kind of degenerate specials is the race to 3 goals. Man, I like taking a little bit of value on the underdog, that like a close underdog. When they're offering a little bit of value on that race to 3, I like to jump on that.
What is the race to 3 goals? Whoever scores 3 goals first, basically, is that how it works?
Yeah, so you have 3 options, either side or neither. Neither pays huge, but that's a big gamble. You got to be 2 defensive teams.
Okay. All right. So how did that translate when you started breaking hockey down? Did your expectations, did you meet or decline or exceed your expectations? Like when you started looking at hockey and says, hey, I think I could bet these games and make money at it. Did it translate to making money right away, or did you have a little bit of a learning curve, and how fast were you able to get to that level that you felt comfortable betting hockey?
Well, I was younger at the time when I first started doing it. I had to learn the hard way, of course, like we all do. Had to, take some losses to learn how it all works. I was very aggressive, parlaying a lot. Up here in Canada, we have the Pro Line, where you go to the grocery store, the gas station, and the government run. You fill out a sheet. You got to pick at least 3 teams, but you're essentially doing a parlay, and that's how I got kind of started up with it. And then I started betting it with the books and online offshore. And I was very aggressive at first, like I said. Always parlaying teams. I think I can pick 3, no problem. Well,
they weren't giving the money away, were they? On the parlay. Now we got a parlay specialist sitting right next to you in the chat there. So, what about you, Poppy Parlay? Did you start betting parlays in hockey, or were you straight better?
I think we just lost him.
We lost him.
Are you back? Are we live?
You're back. Did you get my question, Poppy? I said when you started betting hockey, because of your name, Parlay Poppy, were you a parlay better in hockey, or were you just betting straight bets back then?
Oh, man, I was a parlay superhero. I'll tell you that. I didn't even do a straight bet until maybe 3 years ago. But, yeah, honestly, parlays are a piece of the tool belt, right? Nobody's crushing the books just doing parlays all day. It's one utility item on your belt of many items that you have. Shouldn't be used on anything big unless you're feeling a little bit wasted or volatile. Then maybe we put a couple units on a parlay, but they should always be something that you take into consideration with your unit size. Nobody's be betting $1,000 parlays. I definitely wouldn't recommend that. That's how you get have to reassess your life and your values, my dudes.
Understood. DJ, what do you think? I mean, we all try to talk bankroll management when it comes to sports gambling, and then I've never really got a straight answer. I mean, we know unit sizes and how we're supposed to wager a certain portion of our bankroll per game and whatnot, but how does that tie into a parlay? Like, what percentage of your bankroll should be attended to parlays, if any? And then what are your thoughts? Both. I want both of you guys to answer that. We'll let Josh go first.
Well, learning over the years, you should never be betting on a parlay, especially if you're betting more than 5 to 10% of your bankroll. That's just kind of asking for trouble. You know what I mean? Especially on a parlay. I was going to get at this. I started out parlaying a lot and learned the hard way. Now I hardly ever parlay games. Sometimes like I'll take like a side and an over, especially if there's heavy juice on one team or one side. But yeah, in my opinion, you shouldn't be betting more than, if you're betting 10% of your bankroll on a parlay, that's just asking for trouble. You got to lower that for sure. I mean, maybe keep it around 5% at most.
That's a big number for any bet.
Yeah, let me interject real quick. A parlay is a good tool when we're using these big juice lines with angles that we really like and we suspect statistically that they should win with our cap. That is the way that I parlay now, and it's been very successful over the last year and a half that I adjusted my model on how to parlay. So that's an insight that I think is really important when we're doing our parlays. We shouldn't be shooting for the stars unless it's, $20-$30 lunch money, whatever it is. But when we're actually making a bet and we're throwing down money that we expect to in ratio to our unit size, we should be looking for angles that should win based on what the line is at and what your specific cap is.
Understood.
I like that.
100%.
Me myself,
DJ,
I must say.
Tell them about the parlay we did last week, and it was a money line parlay we did right here on this show last week, and we've kind of forgotten to talk about it going forward. But I think there was like 5 of us. Weren't there 5 of us in the chat when we did it? So you could explain what we did.
What'd that end up
Absolutely.
at?
It ended up being a plus 330 parlay.
Money line parlays?
And it was a 5-team
football, right?
Money line parlay.
Those can be
They all were in between. They were in between minus 200 and minus 500. Heavy favorites, 5-teamer parlay, paid plus 330. We hit it with ease. I think one team came close and pulled it off at the end, but most of the ones on there from all the guys in the show, they hit with ease. But I got some guys backstage I want to get in here. We got Mr. Fatfish, who he's known around here, and we also got Dom Ricci back. So I'm gonna pull them in too right here, and we can get the show keep going, rocking and rolling, talking hockey right here on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Live Lounge every Friday, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Let's get them in there. Mr. Fatfish, Dom Ricci.
What's happening?
Hey,
we got it all filled up. We got it all filled up.
Soon as Josh came in, I got
everybody
I don't know what happened. How you doing, Josh? How you doing, Poppy?
Excellent, man. How are you?
Oh, we're good. We're good. What's up there, Nick? Center Square. What's up with that?
Yeah, I know.
Center Square.
Yeah, I'm using the phone tonight, so I got my internet's been foggy, so a little bit better here. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Cool.
We're good.
Cool.
We're good.
Look like
How about you, Poppy?
Right
can you hear us?
Did we lose Poppy? Poppy, shake your head if you can hear us.
Yeah, I see. I think
I thought he was just posing.
Yeah, that is a good pose.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Josh. What's up, bud? What's up?
There you
What's
go.
up, Nick? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Poppy, you can hear us now?
Man, we're playing Guess Who in here. What the fuck is going on? Jeez. I don't like being in this corner over here.
You don't like the
Poppy,
corner?
I thought you were like
Put me
the whole time.
over there.
Well, I got
Nobody
to
gets
look up to Doc. Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Hey, DJ
All
in the
right, my
sky. Woo, my dude.
Hey, nobody got to pick their spot on the Brady Bunch anyway, so we just got to roll with it. But
That's right.
keeping this thing moving. Let's talk 2019. What do you guys? What do you guys expect to be? Let's say the top 5 heading into the Cup for next year. And who do you guys down on? Who do you guys up on? You got any sleepers in there? Let's go around the clock. I'm gonna let Big Ragoo start it off, and he can help y'all move around. But let's give the people a little insight on the hockey 2019-2020 season and what they have to look for coming over here to the Who-Bangin Sports Talk when it comes down to hockey. Go ahead, let loose, Big Ragoo.
I'm going to be real brief. I'm going to turn it over to the experts, but just from what I've been hearing and reading and listening to the guys that that we know and follow very much. One thing I want to bring up to the guys in the panel here and then also in the chat. I know last year, we had a couple Cinderella stories, and this is real important because I know you could always bet these futures adjusted prices after the season start. But last year, if you bet Las Vegas their first season at the right time, you could have got a plus 500 ticket on them. You know what I mean? Which is absolutely crazy. And then I think they wound up selling around 200, and they went all the way out. And then you had the Cinderella team at the same time. At one time, around January, you could have picked up St. Louis for I think it was like plus 250 or some ridiculous number. But anyways, future betting, I want to get involved. I want to take 2 teams tonight. I want to take like a sleeper team, and I'm going to probably lean on Fatfish and our guy Josh for that. And I'm going to take a team that I think is probably going to be pretty good, but they lost tonight, the Chicago Blackhawks. So I'm going to go on the limb. I'm going to take the Chicago Blackhawks is going to be my team to roll with this year on the NHL. So we'll kick it around. We'll just go around. We'll start off with Josh and work
Let
our
me hear
way
these
down to
guys.
Fat Fist.
Let me hear the experts.
Well, my sleeper team, that's kind of funny you pick Chicago because my sleeper team's in the same division as them. I'm going with the Minnesota Wild. A lot of tuning them out early, shutting them down, giving them no hope and no chance in hell. You know what? This is a veteran team, an older team. They have their core nucleus together for a long time.
One, two. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Yep.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Back to Minnesota. They, they got great defense. They got Bruce Boudreau as their coach. That's a question. We'll
Come
see what
on,
happens
Bruce Boudreau.
Yeah.
You know the odds on him?
He doesn't even know how to coach Parisi and Stahl. Agreed?
You know what? Bruce Boudreau's had a ton of regular season success, man. Before Minnesota, he was with Anaheim and Washington, and they won the division. His team won the division 8 out of 9 seasons with him as head coach. He's got tons of regular season success. The problem with him is he can't turn that into playoff success. And also, I don't think he's the right guy for this team. I really don't. And I hope they make a move quick so my sleeper team can start moving up the standings and show up in the playoffs and win a few playoff rounds.
I made some money with the Wild last year. I can tell you that. The Minnesota Wild were a decent bet last year, especially towards the end of the season. That much I can tell you. What about you, Nick? Who do you like in hockey this year?
I agree with him. They need to get rid of that coach 100%. I think they're bringing in, what's his name? Josh, what's his name? Are you frozen? No, you're good.
No. As coach?
Yeah, they're bringing in somebody else, I believe. Or they're bringing in some sort of is it the GM they're changing or something? They're changing something up over there.
The GM. Yeah, you're right. They got rid of Paul Fenton and brought in Bill Guerin as a GM. And now he has to decide, do I stick with Boudreau in his old school style of, size and physicality? Bruce Boudreau, his system is dump and chase, cycle down low. And Minnesota doesn't have the players that can, work with his style. All the new players have the new age in hockey is speed and skill. And that's not going to work with Bruce Boudreau as head coach. I hope they make a move on that and either bring guys in that can play his system or say, you know what, it's been a slice, Bruce, but see you later.
Okay. My sleeper team is the Florida Panthers, baby. Honestly.
1-2.
They got that resurgence with the goalie.
You're good, boss.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they've added Brett Connolly, Noah Chari, and also Anton Strawman. The list goes on, but that Sergei Bobrovsky pickup was huge. It was time for Ray Longo to retire. I bumped into him at a Starbucks one time, and he's a big dude and whatnot. I felt like telling him myself, shit, he probably whipped my ass. He's a big dude, but I think that Sergei Bobrovsky, him stepping in and whatnot as their goalie is going to fill in a huge gap for the Panthers.
Yeah, I seen that kid listed as like the number 3 in the goalie rankings. I was looking at the top 25 goalie rankings. They have him listed number 3 behind Bishop and Valensky. So I'll tell you, that must be a big pickup for him. How about you, Poppy? What do you think about those Florida Panthers?
They're gonna be good. They're not gonna be great. They ain't getting no playoffs for sure. I think the live teams. I like next year. I like the New York Rangers. I like them to be doing work. But this year, let's say like a wild shot. And this is a very trendy pick. It's probably going to be the Colorado Avalanche with the Devils to both do some work. I think that with that type of talent on both those teams, it's going to be an experiment with the Devils, and we're already seeing what's going on with this Winnipeg offense. These 2 lines on Winnipeg it's so potent. But what do they do? Everything's gone on that team.
What about the defense, though, Poppy? They're letting goals up left and right. Last night,
there's nothing there. That's what I'm saying. That team's a shell. They're still going to be potent. That's an overtrending team that we want to be betting on. But sleeper picks, I don't do this future stuff. It's ridiculous.
I don't do it myself either.
There's no
I
point.
stopped doing futures. Myself because I was losing them 2 years straight. I stopped doing them for now.
Well,
Yeah, because you play the lottery. You never know what's
Yeah.
going to happen. But I
know.
think that some teams that are going to be good this year, Devils, obviously the Avalanche, the Canucks are going to do work. I love the potency that I see them scoring. They have depth problems, right? They don't have – they're not going to be able to do this for a long time. But I do like the future for those three clubs over there and the New York Rangers.
Yeah, I think the Rangers, they're a very young team. I think they're going to be a good team to keep our eye on with overs, with totals. I think they're going to be scoring a lot of goals. I think last night's games might be indicative of what the kind of games they're going to play. You know,
so tomorrow, look, we got
our
a
goalie's
future
getting
look.
old though.
Future look of tomorrow. You got Gregov in goal for New York Rangers. He was terrible last year.
Yeah,
and we're going against what, the Ottawa Senators, right? So
right.
what does that spell? It spells a disaster of goals and lackadaisical defense. We're going to see blue lines getting fucking blown up all over the place. We're going to see guys out. The D, like where's the D on? What superstars do you have on those two rebuilding teams that are the most important, right? Which is your defensemen. We can see teams don't need to be high scoring, like potent firepower to get deep in the playoffs. What about those Blues? What about those Dallas Stars? What about those Predators? Those three teams are going to doing work this coming into the playoffs here. So for me, those three other teams tomorrow, we're going to take a look at that 6.5. I think that's a live look on that Rangers game tomorrow.
That's good. That's something to keep our eye out.
So, Poppy, let me just say this: as far as the futures, and you and Dom agree both that you're not high on playing futures, but to get a solid look at a sleeper team as they start off the season now, you could just say you could take that same information and categorize that into a bet on situation for a team going forward, right? It doesn't necessarily have to mean a team that's going to win the cup or win their division. It could just be a good team to look at certain spots, or somebody you're going to look to play. You're never going to play a team solidly across the season because you're not going to do that. But I understand what you're talking about. But.
Well, look at a case study at the St. Louis Blues. How did they start 2018?
Right.
That you take that as a live bet. That's a fucking retarded bet. That's anybody that would say that is probably the dumbest bet. For what reason? What is your facts? What are your stats? What are you looking at to take the bottom of the barrel team to win the Stanley Cup? You know what I mean? That's how futures work. It's like I'm playing the lottery. I'll play Keno.
Well, just like the people that took the Vegas Golden Knights,
fans.
That's different because that team was not. There was no case study on them of years, right? We don't really know what is going to happen with those misfit characters in that group. You have no idea. There's no sample size. With the Blues, you see that. That's an established team. You know what I mean? So the Vegas thing is a lot less surprising than that Blues incident. And I remember that guy. What do you have? A $50,000 winner.
Yeah.
400. But he
400. Wasn't it $400 to win? Like I can't remember the number.
It was like $100,000.
Yeah, I thought he won 50 or 100. That's right.
Yeah,
so what I'm trying to say is futures are a waste of time, in my opinion.
Okay.
Gotcha. How about just like day-to-day betting, though? As far as some teams that you might.
It's a great hedge if you get there. If you get that far. I mean?
Yeah,
I like those prop bets in the NHL. I have a trend going on right now with the over 1.5 goal per period. I bet at the first period. If it doesn't hit, I bet at the second period as well. And the juice is a little bit higher usually in the second period. But I make the bet appropriately. And today, so far, it's 4-4. Depending on Game 5 tonight, it'll be 5-5, I believe.
So you did it with every game. You did it with every game.
Ask Josh. Yeah.
Hey, Josh. So you've watched a lot of hockey growing up. So
absolutely.
You see a shift, and we can see this shift in the marketplace. Even me, who is not a person who's been involved in hockey for more than 5 years, right?
Right.
I've not grown up around that. So seeing in the last year and a half the shift to this offensive metric, especially in the first period, have you ever seen such a broad spectrum market move onto the overs and juice? That is a 60-cent move that is significant in almost every team that has some type of offense statistically.
Yep.
I've never seen anything like that in my handicapping career. I think it's amazing. What are your thoughts on that? That first period over, just being completely abolished the value.
Maybe Nick's the guy to ask about that. I'm not much of a prop guy, to be honest. But in game totals, you're seeing a lot of 5.5. The average was 5.5.
And it goes to the 6.5, right?
Now it's
same
6.5, right? You're seeing a lot of that over the past few years, and that, like you said, that's incredible. I haven't seen that in my lifetime. Forever and ever, it was always 5.5, and on the best day, you might see a 6. Now we're seeing 6.5s across the board, like every day.
It kind of started last year.
Unbelievable.
It kind of started last year with
rare
that.
these days.
Yeah, you have two. They took away the 2-line pass. They shortened the goalie's reach coming out of the net, so that's got a lot to do with it too. And plus, like you said, the physicality, speed of the game. So all those contributor factors, then you started seeing 5.5s going to 6, and then 6s, 6.5s. Now I'm hearing even talk to possibly 7s this year, which is
we had
a 7. Yeah, we
seen a couple last year. I remember with the 6.5s were popping up. I remember I was very skeptical about it. Me and Jimmy were both being very skeptical about taking it over 6.5, but they kept on popping up and winning, and it just, the facts were there. I was interested in what you were saying, though, Pop. You were saying that the first period overs, the lines are 60 cents higher than they used to be.
They weren't never juiced like that. Some of them get to 215, and that's not even addictive to the total, because the total you actually move, right? You can move the 5.5 to 6 to 6.5 to 7. Right. With the first period, we're not getting the option unless there's some offshore books to 2.
Right.
And then there's value once you get to that 2. We can start looking at that again, right?
That's interesting.
I'm getting over 1.5, like minus 120 to minus 140 right now for first period, usually right now.
No, you're not.
Right.
You're not right now. Right now, there's still minus 185s, minus 165s, minus 190s. I saw them all day yesterday. There's a couple with teams like the Stars, maybe teams like the Blues, depending on the matchup. But we're seeing a significant with any type of statistical offensive team movement on that, and it's losing value unless you're going to parlay them, because long term that's not going to work out. That's too expensive.
The second period is really, really juiced. That's what I have seen. The second period, especially, is extremely juiced. But the first period is usually
tomorrow's when the line's open. Go look at any offensive team. Go look at that first period. I promise there's not one under 150.
Well, we have the Vegas game still tonight, right?
That's probably a 190.
It's at 2 at plus 103.
That's crazy.
Excuse me. It's at 2 at 2 at plus
for the second period or
goals. First period goal spread. Over 2 at plus 103.
Wow.
There you go.
So
I know you're getting plus odds. You're either pushing or
go ahead, DJ.
In my opinion, you're either pushing or hitting the plus odds. You know what I mean?
DJ, what's good, dude?
Let me get the wheel real quick, fellas. I'm really enjoying what you guys got going on with the hockey. I got some technical stuff jumping in and out on my side. I got guys waiting backstage to come on here with us. This was just a brief introduction to our hockey. We're absolutely going to keep this going. We haven't decided on a solid day or time yet, but all of you on this panel right here, we definitely going to be in touch with you guys to come on and hang out with us some more. So I just want to go one by one so I can get some of you guys off and get some other people on. I'm going to start with Josh. Josh, you got any sleeper teams or anything you want to let the people know before we head you on out of here until next time on this Who-Bangin Sports Talk hockey event?
Yeah, well, my sleeper team was the Wild. We'll see how that goes. I hope they can make that coaching change soon with Bruce Boudreau. I like that Vegas San Jose that rivalry, the new rivalry. I hope San Jose can stay up to their level with Vegas, because in my opinion they're kind of declining. But they lost Pavelski, a huge part of their core. Donskoy,
Yeah.
and also Vander Kane suspended for the first few games. So I hope that they can keep up with Vegas. That's been a great rivalry to watch. Ryan Reeves and Vander Kane going at it all the time, man. It's kind of cool. I'm on Vegas tonight. Money line, I think it was minus 120. That's my pick for the later game tonight, and that's going to be a good game to watch. I hope you guys can all get a chance to tune into that. Be an awesome game, good rivalry at this back half of the home and home.
Absolutely, Josh, man. It's always a pleasure having you right here on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk channel, man. We appreciate everything you've done to this point and going to do in the future. And you always welcome over here. You got a house and a home right here with us, man. But we're going to let you go. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for your input,
Josh.
your picks and everything, man. We appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Have a good night, guys. I'll be in the chat. Have a good night.
Right.
Thank you.
Next up, Mr. Fat Fist, can you give the people a little bit of sleepers or a little information you got for the folks for NHL for this season?
He took the words out of my mouth. I was debating this Vegas night game and the Sharks, but I think I'm going to go with the Knights here. I think they're going to roll San Jose, like he said. Kane's out, Pavelski. I think it all lines up, and I get him right now at minus 119. I'm liking that. I also like the team total under San Jose Sharks under 3.5. It's a little bit juicy though, minus 159. I'm not sure if I'm going to jump on that yet. I might not.
Your sleeper team going forward for the season.
Oh, sleeper team is. I'm telling you, the Panthers are going to surprise people. They're going to. I mean, I'm not a Panther fan. I'm a diehard Bruin fan, and I think it's going to be the Panthers. I also one other Coyotes. I think they're a big time sleeper team. They almost made it to the playoffs last year, and they've only improved since then. So I think they're a huge sleeper team as well.
That's what's up, man. And once again, man, we appreciate you.
Poppy, you're back.
All of our people know. All of our people know you who you are, man. Let them know where they can find you on the internet and holler back at you.
Very easy. Mr. Fat Fist on Twitter, Instagram, no period, just MRFATFIST. I'm down to chop it up with anybody. I'll talk to a freaking wall. So, but that being said, it's a pleasure to be with every single one of y'all. Poppy, I think it's my first time with you. Pleasure to be with you. Dom, I miss sleeping next to you. Your snores late at night. I mean, it's like a lullaby. And you talk in your sleep. You tell stories in your sleep. So you don't just tell stories here. You tell stories in your sleep. It's fucking phenomenal.
You just better hope I don't start telling stories about you.
Oh shit! Fuck.
That's right.
You asshole.
And don't forget to give our guy Fat Fist. He's an MMA expert also. So we're not just talking hockey with this guy. We're talking MMA too.
Peace out, man.
Yep.
Make
Absolutely.
Sure
if you guys want to hit me up on Twitter for some picks tomorrow, I got about 4 or 5 solid picks. I got 2 that went on SBR, but I got some sleeper picks as well. So hit me up on Twitter.
That's our guy,
man.
Nick. Mr. Fat Fist. Thanks for dropping in, brother. We'll be talking to you soon.
Later, boys. Later, Poppy. Later, boss. Ragoo. Dom. Love you, boys.
Okay, guys. I don't have any sleeper teams yet for hockey. I'm looking at my Rangers to score a lot of goals. All I'm interested in right now is this Yankee game. Yankees are up 5-4. I hit the team total Twins over 3.5. But
You just hit a home run.
give us your hockey sleepers, baby.
Hey, before we continue to go on, I want to bring some other guys on. We're going to switch it up, and we're going to give a little sample of what we've been doing on a little lately, our MLB playoff edition shows that we've been having with Dom Ricci. We had Noli Knows, and we got Parlay Poppy in the house to talk MLB with us as well. Parlay Poppy, he also does MLB. But also I'm going to bring one of our home favorite, you guys all love him, my guy, Trot Wham. I'm going to bring him in here with us too. Bam.
What it do?
This is all-star now.
How you feeling, Wham?
Man, I see my man Parlay Poppy. I see Dom. I see family right here.
Oh, there he is, dude.
I see
My
family
man.
right here. My man, Big Ragoo. I'm just drinking, watching y'all. Y'all doing y'all thing.
That's what's up. Hey, I don't want to leave my guy Noli out. We going baseball. You know we got to get the guy that's making unders great again in here with us before we go any further in baseball. Here we go. Noli Knows. How you feeling?
What's going on, everybody?
There he is, the Noel.
What's going on, Poppy? What's going
What
on,
up?
Dom?
Hey, there
What's
he
up,
is.
brother?
What's going on,
You already
everybody?
know, bro. I'm chilling.
Always
I'm
a pleasure
chilling.
to have my West Coast brother in the house with us. Or brothers,
Yes.
should I say? All of them. Every one
You
of you
got that
guys.
Dodgers shirt on, huh? Is that
Oh, yeah.
you got that Dodgers shirt fresh
Everybody's
and clean?
representing tonight.
Yeah, I see
We're all
Ragoo
Yeah.
over there. I see Ragoo over there, so I had to throw it on, you know.
That's what's up, man. And I just want to say before we move anything further on MLB, I just want to take my hat off to I want to take my hat off to Noli and Dom Ricci for the past 2 shows that they did this week on MLB on short notice. These guys crushed it. Yesterday, it was just phenomenal. Noli had the under first half. Dom Ricci had the full game, and both of them cashed. We killed the card, and they're going to be going back at it with some more, and we're going to be bringing on some new faces along with that as well. But I'm going to let Dom Ricci and Noli take over. Big Ragoo, Wham, or Parlay Poppy, I'll let you hop in it too. We just going to navigate the scene and jump in. We're going to let these MLB guys do their thing. Go ahead, Dom Ricci.
Hey, baby. First of all, we got a game going right now. We got this Yankee game going on right now. Noli, did you take anything on the Yankee game?
Nah, I didn't. I stayed away from that game. I seen a lot of offense, but I was too sketchy, you know, for postseason. I know you get a lot less runs, so I stayed away.
Yeah.
I'm just watching as a fan right now.
I know you did take something on that Cardinal Atlanta game, though. Did you not?
Yeah, I took the first 5 under right back at it.
Beautiful.
I know the National League. That's what I said on the show. That's what I pick on. I love that the pitcher gets the hit, you know, get some automatic outs in there, and that's huge value for me. I looked at those 2 games earlier. You got the American League and National League game, and the American League game is a lot lower. I understood the pitching, but instead of a pitcher hitting, they got another number 4 batter, and that's a lot more dangerous with those numbers at a 7 and a 3.5 those games went over because of that.
Yeah, I had the over in that Astros game. Yeah, that was it cashed late, but it cashed. Poppy, did you take anything on these games today?
I did not. I did not because of the fact that I want to see what's going on with our squads, our Minnesota Twins, New York Yankees. I think Minnesota is live for a big upset here. I think that the pitching is basically the same on both teams, the starters, right? I think the lineup is better on Minnesota.
He froze on us, right?
No, but I was agreeing everything he was saying. I took actually Minnesota today. I took the Twins money line plus 176.
Oh, that's a nice number.
I took it just because I feel like it was a lot of value, and I didn't really put too much on it because I'm jumping into MLB just because all the stuff that we've done so far. I took a little break just because I had to cap certain other leagues and stuff like that. But it's normal. Looking in this game, I just say, hey, it's good to take a shot with a team that you feel like you've been betting on, making money with, and I feel comfortable doing it with Minnesota Twins, and I felt like I had a good edge, so I took the money line on there. But
You're in it, man.
They're 4-5. They're 4-5 right now. You never know. You never know.
One out in the 6th inning. They're down 1 run. It's beautiful. I had the team total over 3.5. But I like the Twins myself. I think the Yankees could get beat. It could be beaten, right, Poppy? That's what you were saying. The Twins are live, right?
Yeah. So what we're looking at is the fact that the starting pitching is basically the same, right?
Right.
Who really has an advantage? I think they're both spotty. On the other hand, I think the Twins lineup is actually better right now. I don't think they have better talent. I think that they're just consistently been hitting this ball the entire season. It's not going to change postseason wise. But the thing with the Twins, that bullpen is ranked the best basically in the last 2 weeks. That means nothing. I think that the obvious talent is the bullpen in the Yankees squad. This Twins bullpen is not that great. And the fact that the Yankees have that much talent, all this stuff riding here, and the Twins are extremely vulnerable, the majority of the pitches are going to be by relievers and the later stuff going on.
Oh, without doubt.
That's where you got to buy onto is the fact that relief pitching is going to be the majority, and really got to pay attention to who's in the bullpen. For me, the more talent is on the Yankees, but they're so live for an upset. You're going to get a lot of value on these Twins games. I'm telling you that.
Yeah,
I'd like to know what Mr. Noli knows think about those twins.
Oh no, definitely. That's what I said on the show before. Those guys, it's the long ball, and something that Dom even said, you got to hit the long ball and good pitching. And a stat that they brought up, it was something 19-4 to the team that out home run the other team, hit home runs within that game, and that's crazy to me. And that's what they're gonna do. And like you said, there's no reason for them to not do it in the playoffs. They're a solid lineup, and they got good pitching. That I was concerned with Berrios, and he did give up some runs today. And but they got good pitching, and they do match up well.
It's a very even series. I think we're just gonna get spots to take Minnesota at plus prices here.
Right.
And,
I could see that.
Oh, definitely.
And we know our guy Big Ragoo is no slouch, and he does MLB as well. Big Ragoo, you got any input on those?
When the playoffs come around, it's all about the pitching in my book. But like you say, the long ball is the other key factor. So you have two teams right here playing, and look at the Dodgers the other night, what they accomplished. They took a team that just came off of a pretty, I want to call it an emotional victory, but they came from behind, and now they had to do a little bit of travel out west, and they were up against it, meeting up against Buehler, because Buehler's been an animal at home. But the Dodgers have struggled against some left-handed pitching, so certain things play out and certain things don't. But you got to go with the consistencies. Which teams are going to be consistent the most? And like Poppy says, you got right now the way that the Twins bats are playing, the way the Yankees bullpens are playing. That's the matchup in that series. It's going to be the Yankees bullpen against the Twinkies bats, and the Yankees are going to get hot. So they're going to get their hits.
Oh
It's going to be and they're live. They're very live actually. The Twins are so. And I'm not worried, but I'm a little scared right now. To be honest with you.
Don't worry, don't worry, Ragoo. Y'all might got it the whole thing. I honestly think they're gonna steal a couple of games here, and everyone was saying it early. So what more than happens them still in the first game? So that's how I feel.
You know what? You know it's gonna be a good, interesting angle. You know how hard the Dodgers are taking this. Noli, my dude. But when we take our left-handed pitching department into the Nationals ballpark, woof, my man, that is going to be wild, and we are going to get a good price on the Nationals too. They literally smash the ball so hard. I don't know what it is against all the star pitching department on the entire MLB roster of elite pitchers. When they go to the Nationals ballpark and they're hitting left-handed bat, we got a left-handed pitchers coming in on the Dodgers squad. They're going to be bombs all over that place. And check this out too. That Nationals ballpark is also the fourth most home run hitting ballpark in 2019. We're going to see some wild stuff going on in this October here.
I can't wait. It's so exciting.
I'll tell you, to me, tonight's game is the Nationals have to win tonight's game if they're going to have a shot of an upset, which I don't know if it's going to happen, but tonight is the game. It's a bit like I said with the Braves. The Braves had to win today. I know Flaherty was pitching and stuff, but I felt they had to win, and I feel the Nats have to win tonight and have a decent shot.
I got a question for everybody. Dom, you can start it off. So the short series, we got 5 games, max in the series. And game 1, to me, has always been, we know game 3 is like the game 5 in a 7-game series. But game 1, with the Braves, when they started out with Keuchel in that game, you think they should have went with Soroka versus Keuchel to kind of get over the top to get that first game in the bag? Or what you're thinking on game 1 in a short series like this?
Well, I think they make a game 1 pitcher. They want him to pitch again if it comes with game 5. I think that's the theory. Soroka, for some reason, they didn't even pitch him today. They put him off, I guess, till the next game, which makes me think that he's tired. He pitched too many innings, and he might not be as sharp as he was. That whole thing with Soroka has had me thinking about it. It's a great question. And I think that they didn't think he could pitch a game 1 and 5 if he had to. So they went with Keuchel.
I'll buy that. What do you think, Poppy?
About
Soroka.
Soroka and the game one scenarios.
He's their best pitcher. Why didn't he start?
I think that the Keuchel name when he was a postseason pitcher in Houston was good, right? As a home pitcher, he had great stats. So we have a new guy in Soroka who's vulnerable because of the fact he hasn't been under this type of pressure. The thing that's the mistake on the manager's side is not starting Soroka because of the fact that Keuchel is missing everything. In the past 3-4 games that he played, he does not look sharp. And that is not somebody you want to ride going into your first game in the playoffs. He did not have a good game score. He did not have good stuff. Even though it didn't translate into a huge inning, that was like if he was against any other team that could hit the damn ball, that would have been over for the Braves. Same thing with Charlie Morton. He gave up so much contact, missing everything, way too many walks, despite it not showing up on the scoreboard. I don't know about those decisions. I think that Soroka definitely should have started. The kid can handle the big, bright lights.
Yeah, okay. I'll throw this one at our guy Noli on this one. Now, the Nationals, not going back to the Dodger game, but going back to the Milwaukee game, they started Scherzer, right? Now, we know he's been banged up the last few games. He's been getting touched up for over like 4 or 5 runs a game. Now, he's supposed to be their stud, correct? So he hasn't had the best looks, but going forward, do you think they kind of roll the dice with him, knowing that they can go to Strasburg in game 1 of the first game, or do you think that was the best look for them to win that game?
That wild card game.
The wild card game.
I don't know. He must be frozen. Let me see.
Yeah.
No, I see Noli blinking.
No,
I can't hear Ragoo.
He basically just asked, what do you think about them throwing out Strasburg the first game in the wild card game? Do you think that was Milwaukee. A good move? Yeah, you think that was a good move?
About not starting them the first game?
No, throwing them out there in the first game. Throwing them out there.
Scherzer, not
Scherzer. I'm sorry. Yeah, Scherzer.
Yeah, I think they definitely should have went with Strasburg. Strasburg has been the better pitcher. He's looked, especially down the stretch, and there's no reason why to doubt him. He's been there just as much as Scherzer has. I know he's big time, but his stats have been awful lately, and I think you got to ride the hot hand going into that game, and that's what ultimately won him that game, going to him. So I think it showed right there.
So you're okay with them throwing Scherzer out there, right?
Yeah.
No, I would have said throw Strasburg.
So do you think this is going to affect him? Do you think it's going to affect him going into the next game?
Going into what, today?
Yeah.
Off of what, 4 days rest?
I'm just saying. I mean, they are already up. I think they're up right now 1-0. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're up 1-0. Go ahead, rub it in.
I got these Nats first 5 and this Dodgers team total over today because I think this completely correlates. Strasburg is the better pitcher here versus Kershaw. The thing is, Kershaw is very vulnerable too. Who's got the much better bullpen and the much better overall team? It's the Dodgers. The Dodgers are winning this game. They're going to absolutely dig into this terrible, fucking horrible. What? Who made this bullpen, dude? This is wild.
They didn't have they 5.22 ERA. It doesn't matter. They hit the ball. The bullpen had the bullpen was crap the whole year, and the Nats are still playing today. So
that's what I'm saying.
They hit runs. They score enough where the damn bullpen doesn't matter, I guess.
Well, this is the game. You know, Strasburg's been lights
the Dodgers team total.
I took the Nationals first 5 money line in the Dodgers team total over 3.5.
I took the Nationals team total over. Okay, I got you.
And that 3.5 for the Nationals is juiced a little bit, right?
No, I think it was 105
I mean,
even.
No, I think it was. I'm sorry, it was a plus 115. I think.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I'm looking now. I don't remember.
I mean, I think long story short, with the Scherzer thing, I think they do that because they know they have Strasburg and Corbin in the mound because it's a winner take all. And they're like, let's put the guy with the best stats overall this year because if Scherzer gets hit, we know that Milwaukee is going to be vulnerable despite that bullpen being great. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they had a good bullpen, how good would the Nationals be? They'd be they'd be unbelievable.
And even a decent bullpen. Not even good.
Serviceable bullpen.
Yeah, 5.22 ERA. That's not what you're looking for.
If they can swap with Domstein, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
So tomorrow.
So do you think
tomorrow we got it'll be an interesting game, Noli. We gotta talk about tomorrow the Yankees and Twins, depending on what happens here. I know the Yankees are pitching Tanaka. I didn't see who was pitching for the Twins. I didn't see the announcement. I don't know if anyone's seen it
either.
Yeah,
No.
and then we also have Tampa Bay pitching Snell, which is against Cole. That's a tall task.
I like that first 5 under actually, and I actually like Tampa Bay first 5 here too tomorrow.
Yeah, Noli, what about you?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that game. I like both those pitchers. Those pitchers come to play, and I think Snell is fully healthy. There's no reason to believe he's not. So I think he'll be on his game. And yeah, I definitely like that under tomorrow.
Play tomorrow. First 5 under.
That line.
The Astros are minus. The Astros are minus 303.
Yeah, that was crazy in a playoff.
Yeah,
game,
it opened up at minus 284, and now it's minus 303.
And we just
shot with a dog. Now's the time to take it.
First 5. I'll tell you what, Garrett Cole got touched up by these Rays in August. When Blake Snell saw the Astros and got touched up, he was injured. Last year when he saw the same Astros lineup, he absolutely diced them, killed them.
Yeah.
I like this first 5 Tampa look.
What do you think Tampa's a live dog in this series at all in any certain game, or you think they're live
on the first 5?
Yeah, and plus a half, you get like plus 140, I believe, right?
I think that'll be. I think I'll take something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that with the first 5 under as my plays there.
Oh yeah, the parlay poppy. I forgot.
Parlay poppy play.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Ragoo, I think that we might have a couple spots there where we could maybe take the Rays, not to upset them in the series, but I think the Rays could take a game here and there. I know Teddy Cubbers actually said he would take the Rays or nothing in any of these games. He said if you took the Rays every game,
the price is too high.
Excuse me?
Think about it. I mean, for a playoff game, even though it's it is the divisional series, and Tampa's a real scrappy team. They're well managed. They got very good pitching. Offensively they might be challenged at times, but they're very live. They know how to they play a lot of small ball and they can go long too. I just think certain spots, if we get the right opportunity, we might be jumping on Tampa because number one, I think the value is going to be there. That's all. I'm just saying. Like I agree with you and Teddy. What Teddy says.
Plus a half look tomorrow is a great idea. I'm telling you that. Just to have that game tied at 5, I think that Ray has a great history of pitching Snell. I'm sorry, has a great history of pitching these Astros very, very well on the road. He can do it here, and I think that we have a live chance to be tied up in the first 5. But Rays may be up in the first 5, and that under first 5 looks just tasty.
All right, we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have some games to talk about, that's for sure, Saturday and Sunday. So that'll be good. That'll be good.
Who hit the home run for in the Yankee game? Did anybody watching the game?
I have it on the radio in the background.
Now, I want to pause for a little commercial right here. But, yes, once again, this is the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Live Lounge every Friday right here, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Now, let me give a shout out to some of the people in our chat. Our guy Flipper13 just pulled up. Alex Ramirez is still hanging out with us tonight. Our guy Top Set stops by for a little while. Of course, we had Mr.
6'4"
earlier, and also we had Dennis Garcia come join us. Joy Ruiz and Oscar Sanchez also came in and joined us today. But this is an awesome conversation with some great cappers right here. Like, we could do this for probably hours, but I just want to stop to make a brief announcement about this MLB Playoff Edition series sessions and shows that we have with our guy Noli Knows and Dom Ricci, hosted by Dom Ricci. We're probably going to get you on there, Parlay Poppy, and definitely got to have Big Ragoo on there, and Wham OG, you can come in there too. So I just wanted to make a stop and just let everybody know that's what's going on. That's why we on here talking baseball, because baseball is coming. We got some shows for y'all. Stay tuned to this channel, subscribe, and also follow each of these guys on Twitter if you want to stay alert. But I'm going to handle some more biz, and then we just going to open up the floor and do what we do from there. Also,
there goes the ball.
Our guy right here.
Gone.
What, Yankees?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at my
2 run. No, is it single shot? I'm sorry. 7-4 Yanks.
Oh, there we
Sorry,
go.
guys.
It's all good. We watching the game. It's live. You know
what I say about that bullpen.
You know who hit it?
Trash.
Number 1-1. Double ones. Our guy, man, the oldest guy on the team.
You know we transparent and definitely organic here. And our guy, OGWAM, is going to be heading out, getting ready for bringing a lot of content in regarding NBA on Wham Talk. Coming to him soon. Wham, give him a little preface of what's going to be going down on Wham Talk for NBA for this upcoming NBA season.
Hey, we got to have my man Parlay Poppy, my man Noli Knows dropping unders, you know what I'm saying, on Wham Talk when we talk NBA. But we right now already capped the Central Division. You know what I mean? That's coming out soon, shortly. I could give y'all a sneak peek and a pick, but boss already kind of like made me sign a little waiver. I can't give out the picks and shit until the shit drops. So you know how that shit works. You know how Suge Knight do it.
He's a tough guy to do business with, isn't it? Even though he's your brother-in-law, he's gonna hold your feet to the fire, man.
You know how Suge Knight do us, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you should see what he does to us white guys. Are you kidding me?
You want to borrow my magnifying glass so you can read the contract?
Right. He don't never let you see his eyes. You can't never tell him, like, what color eyes he has, officer. No, you don't know, because he always wear glasses and shit. You know what I'm saying? But going back to the situation, but we going to get it cracking right now. I'm feeling good. I'll let you guys know. I'm about to make the Southwest Division preview. I already made the Central Division. Y'all going to have to see that shortly. But the Southwest Division, I'm going to just let y'all know ahead of time.
Cheers, Poppy.
I'm liking Orlando Magic. I think everybody in the Southwest Division, they don't have a cohesiveness. They're either good in offense, like the Washington Wizards probably are. They're probably really good in offense and trash on defense, or they're really trash on defense and really good on offense, like the Atlanta Hawks are. So I'm looking at the Orlando Magic to have some type of cohesiveness coming in next year.
Wow.
And check them out. They're probably a sleeper team that we want to buy in on early, and then we'll be able to see it unfold later on in the season. So that's all I'm really got to say. That's the only thing I had to say, boss.
Hey,
don't get everything.
He keeping a muzzle on me, bro.
Yeah, you gotta keep.
Let me ask you a question. They're talking a lot of crap up here in New York about these Nets. Do they actually have a team or what? Tell me about these Nets.
So I'll say this. Of course, they have a team next year because KD is coming back. But right now, you're going to be able to question them because a lot of their teammates and a lot of the players that's on their team are not proven. You could say Karis LeVert is one of those players because he was injured in college. He was injured in the NBA. But actually, I like that guy. He's a great player.
Yeah.
And when he's on the court and he's healthy, he's one of the better players on the court. So you got to cap that in the game as well. At least us humans can. We could always depend on these type of computers to make these type of adjustments for us, but you got to make the mental adjustment as well. So I like to think maybe he's having a great year this year. I'm not going to all the way buy in on that because there's volatility in there, but as far as the Nets, I actually like the Nets this year. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
but
they'll make a little noise.
I ain't going to lie, though. I ain't going to get my man's business out there, but I talked to some players and some good cappers that we all trust, and they ain't really feeling the Nets this year.
Yeah. Good.
That's what's up.
Noli clapping. What's Noli clapping about? With the Dodgers score?
No, man. At least getting outs.
I got it.
I'll hit another batter. And just
The Yankees are up 6-4, Doc.
that's awesome. That's
Oh,
awesome.
7-4. Yeah, 7-4. Wow.
Gardner just hit a home run.
That game is done.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up from Wham with Wham Talk. It's gonna be coming to y'all soon. Y'all next week. You should be seeing some previews and some good stuff coming out here on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk channel. So make sure that you definitely subscribe, notify, and also follow everyone in here on Twitter. That way you can hang out with us and get some real good information coming into the season, during the season, after the season, and all that. I want to give a quick shout out to Prince of the City, our guy. He showed up to hang out with us today. And also Luis. Luis is in here. hanging out with us as well. But we're gonna let Parlay Poppy back in. I'm gonna step out for a second, and we're gonna keep this grow. The floor is open now, fellas. Y'all go for it. Whatever y'all want to talk. MLB, hockey, handball, skating. It don't matter.
I got a question for the chat from Dennis Garcia. He wants to know about the Charlotte Hornets. Are they really going to be that bad to Wham? What do you think about that, Wham?
So I did see something today on Charlotte Hornets. I mean, I don't really cap this team yet, but I see something with J. Cole. They had gave J. Cole, the rapper J. Cole, the Grammy-nominated rapper J. Cole. They gave him a jersey today because he's from the area in North Carolina. I mean, I don't have that much faith in North Carolina. I mean, as far as the Charlotte Hornets, I don't have that much faith in them having any type of push towards the East. The East is really, wide open, at least the last 3 spots. Because if you think about it, there's really not that many teams in the East that you could really say that's credible, that could really make that much noise.
Terrible.
There's a lot of teams in the East in the Central Division. That's why I came out with the Central Division. I'm going to come out with the Central Division preview first, but for the most part, with the Charlotte Hornets, bro, I mean, they don't really have that much coming in. I didn't really get to cap in too much with it, but I know that off bat. I'm not looking into my first thought was not to look into that deep into them. But anybody else have anything to say about them?
Yeah, I do. One thing. I'll be real short and sweet about it. I haven't seen the Charlotte Hornets being relevant since Alonzo Mourning.
Right.
How old are you?
That's a long time.
Yeah. He might have been.
I was like in 90, 93, 94, 94, 93.
You probably in elementary school back then, right?
Yeah, I was young. My little brother was first born. I was the baby back then.
And you know who came out of that same draft at Mourning? A guy named Shaquille O'Neal. We know about him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They won a ring together.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Shaq, since you brought up Shaq, let's talk about. I mean, is anybody caught up on the NBA knowing that Damian Lillard dropped 2 diss tracks against Shaq? Have anybody caught up on that?
Dame Dimes. My man.
See that? You see that? So I wrote down some of the lyrics. I'm gonna just let some of let some of our our OG rap lyricisms listen in what Damian Lillard said to Shaq. He said sometimes sensitive. Actually, I'm sorry. He said sensitive almost confused you with Lisa Leslie. How you go from swinging from Chuck to him becoming your bestie?
Oh, wow.
That's a tough bar right there. That's a tough bar. Am I right or wrong? That's a tough ass bar.
Hey, that NBA TNT is probably the greatest sports
show. That show, right? It's crazy.
Guaranteed. And they just added some more content, having his ass making his two diss tracks against him. So, and we're adding on to it. So, thank y'all. We should give a check for that shit.
Hey, thank y'all. Let me tell you this. I never seen Damian Lillard do a damn Lollapalooza or EDC concert standing up in front of 150,000 people, getting on the ones and the twos and jumping in the crowd in the mosh pit. Tell him to step up and do that one time, Damian Lillard.
That's true. That's true. Another thing he says in the rap in the song, he says he's okay with walking away right now. So right now we know his career. He doesn't have any championship rings. He doesn't have really mainstream accolades like MVP or anything like that. He says he's okay with walking away right now. So all that NBA shit that you're going to say about him compared to Shaq, he's like, look, cancel that shit out right now. I'm talking about my verses between his verses. He's talking about rap on rap. So that's when you go into this, let's make it even colder, because he even brought up Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp arguing about them bringing everything up. In his rap, he actually brings it up, so it's even crazier. Like, damn, he kind of makes you like
focus on playing basketball. Tell him to prove his worth on the court.
But you know what?
Maybe in his second career, he can become a lyricist.
I'm looking at this as a capper as well, though. And the reason why I brought this up, is because we don't really have that much faith in Hassan Whiteside. Let's just go specifically into him. He was just added on the Portland Trail Blazers, and we're just talking about this randomly right now, right? He's just added on to the Portland Trailblazers. Maybe he got time. Is it two parlay puppies? Oh shit! I was just gonna say, is it two parlay puppies? I'm seeing two, bro. But going to this shit, like he may be like this season is chucked up as a loss. Maybe this season is chucked up as a loss because he made the first this track and said he shouldn't even be able to do this shit because the training season is starting. But now he makes another one. It's like, all right, maybe he doesn't think this season is that good. He just busts everybody's ass in practice. Like, you know what, we'd rather lose again.
Yeah, you never know, man. Basketball. So when's the first NBA game starting?
Well, we have preseason games going on this week. We got some a lot more tomorrow. The Lakers play tomorrow. They say LeBron and Anthony Davis should be playing tomorrow. So we're gonna get to see a little bit more stuff today. I made like I said before, I made the Central Division a preview already. I'm really high on Indiana Pacers. Indiana Pacers play really good today. It looked like they was going to get their ass whooped by the Sacramento Kings in this preseason game. They ended up coming back, going to overtime, looking like they're really invested in this game. And they came back, and that's without Victor Oladipo because he's not coming back until at least late November, early December. So,
hey, Wham! I got a question.
What's up, bro?
So we had our little like teams, right? Like our Magics and our Kings, just like smash, and we were finding good spots to take them, like money lines, right?
Right.
Getting some wild overs on the Kings. What's a little team that maybe we need to know about that might give us some value in the future? Because a lot of us, there's so much sports going on. There's 30 different professional leagues going on right now. It's hard to follow everything. But for you, you're a great NBA capper. You've been making me cash fuck personally. Love to thank you for that. But who's our team this year that you think is going to be one of those slide in to get in the DM type of team?
I like teams that's already deep. You know what I mean? That don't have that much injury problems coming into the leagues, coming into this season. So I'm looking at Orlando Magic as one of those teams. Even though I'm going back into that because the only reason why I would say Miami Heat is going to be coming in as the favorite because they have the main names, they have the defense mentality, they have a lot of things that you can buy into. As far as the unaware and what you think that could come in and sneak you in and bite you in the ass is the Orlando Magic, which came in and going into actually beating the team in Toronto Raptors that won the game, that won the whole thing last year. They actually beat them in the first round. And I actually like them to win the whole series coming into that series. So I'm really high on them. Maybe I'm biased. So I like that. Maybe I'm biased because I like them coming into that season. That series, actually.
Like we're gonna see like a line adjustment for Miami games, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember how they were last year? It's like that was
they couldn't score shit.
Not a very backable team. But now with this new little core they got going on, they're probably going to be priced like that. You would think, right? With some of the big names,
they're already priced like that because if you look at, because I haven't seen the Southwest Division, but I look at how the full championship odds are mounted up into players. Or teams that's in that same division. So if you look at Miami, they're actually priced better to win the full chip than Orlando Magic. So I would only assume that there should be, they should be favored to win the Southwest Division because they're better priced out there. So I'm thinking that they're going to be a good play on to win the full division because they're already talking about as far as the coach for Orlando Magic is that he's expecting that Vucevic, who is the main center star that signed, he was the free agent this year that they re-signed.
Right.
He's going to be more efficient this year. They're really gauging into making more plays, more incentive as far as making him more efficient. If that's the case, they're putting Mo Bamba to the backfield. Whatever you bring, Mo Bamba, you bring in. So I feel like that's going to give him enough motivation to him to get on the court, and that's going to build another camaraderie inside the team, and that type of stuff means stuff as far as you coming into the season, at least in my behalf, because I don't do futures like you said. Probably this is my first year, bro, to be honest with you. So I'm looking into certain futures and certain things, and my first future that I made, I made on the first preview show that we coming out with, and it's gonna come out shortly. So y'all gonna be able to chance to get in touch with that.
What is your show, by the way?
It's Wham Talk, bro, and I need you on there, Parlay Poppy. That's for sure, bro.
When is that show?
We're gonna come out with it. We're gonna come out with it next week. It's kind of figuring out what the schedules are with the playoffs right now, because it's really what I like to call Wham season. There's a lot of shit just pushed in your face. It's a lot of shit pushed in your face. You know what I'm saying? We got to deal with all the basketball stuff, all the baseball playoffs, all the college football, all the real NFL transactions going on as well. So it's a lot of shit going on, Parlay Papa. But Wham Talk is the show, bro. We need you on there, Parlay Papa. You too, Noli. All you guys, bro. We need all the great minds so we can get this cash.
I will get live and cash the bucks, dude.
So speaking about live, the Nationals are up 3-0, bottom of the second. Are the Dodgers a live bet here? Did you look, DJ?
I'm looking right now at the Dodgers. They just had them at they still was minus 127 though.
Okay, gotcha.
How was that pizza, man?
Oh man, it was scrumptious and delicious. I had to take some time out for myself every now and then.
You know, Doc, one day we're gonna get him some real pizza from New York.
I might fly some in from Vegas from New York when we go out there at the end of the month.
Bobby,
you gonna come with us?
My guy over here, Umberto's ships pizza.
I'm gonna be able to come, Ragoo. I ain't get to tell you yet. I'm gonna be able to come. I got a new promotion in my new spot at my new gig. I got a promotion and I'm doing training, so they got me off on the weekends. I'm sliding through.
All right, beautiful. We look forward to that.
You know, I'll talk to you about that, Doc. Because my guy ships pizza from over here, Umberto's.
Oh yeah, that's nice, beautiful.
We'll talk about it.
My guy Maxwell Smart is in the chat. He said that Kershaw should be in prison.
That's it, baby.
Shout out to Maxwell Smart, man.
Shout out to San Jose State for that touchdown. Let's get it. And we didn't get to talk about it. We didn't get to talk about it yet, but I like San Jose State, like my man DJ BigBoss. It's only right. Only thing New Mexico has is a running game, and they don't really have the actual personnel to do it. So I feel good in this spot. We already winning, but you know it's early, boss. So it's only first quarter, bro.
What's this? Is there any score?
7-0.
7-0.
I'll tell you, one of the guys that I think is a good capper. He talked about the over 67 in this game that he was on.
Was that Air Force?
No, this San Jose State game.
Oh, I'm sorry, San Jose. Yeah, that closed at 70.
Oh, it did close at 70. Wow.
70. Yeah, 70.5 and bookmaker.
Pick 6, Cincinnati, 19-16.
Oh shit! Right wait, what's the score here?
19-16, Cincinnati. Lead UCF.
Wow.
So I got a question for you guys. What do you think about tomorrow? I already took him. I took Army +3 tomorrow. It's a noon game. Well, early game. Does anybody have any thoughts on that game?
Here, look at the top center. Look down. Look straight ahead.
There you go. Good.
Army's in play tomorrow.
Good. I got him in a 3-team parlay. I already hit 2 legs of it already.
Oh, okay.
Is it a money line parlay?
Yeah, I like doing. I like doing those. I know you guys were speaking about it before. I like doing. I play probably one parlay out of every 30 or 40 bets, but I like doing 3-team parlays across sports.
Like I had down there.
You know, I had two from baseball, and I hooked it up with football. So if you get a nice 3-team, you can always, hedge a little bit. Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Or a 4-team.
Let me give you my philosophy and let Poppy parlay see if I'm doing the right thing here. Okay, so in my world, a 4-team parlay, unless I'm in Las Vegas and I'm having a couple cocktails and I want to go for the gusto, I might throw a 4 or 5-teamer, try to catch a 20-1 or 40-1, throw some money lines in there, have some fun, maybe get 60-1, who knows. But anyways, those are I wouldn't call pipe dreams, but good hedging opportunities if you can get to that last game in the right scenario.
Yes.
So I like taking a big favorite as my last game, and this way I can lay a money line price on the dog.
100%.
Take the cheaper price on the dog.
That's
get
right.
more value, and then bang it out. Then
that's right.
Then especially if it's like like a plus 20 plus 2,500 or plus 30 plus 3,000 somewhere in that range. Then you could throw down maybe like 1,000 and make it back the other way. You know what I mean? So, what do you think? What's your strategy on that, Poppy? Is that something to do, or what's your limit on parlays team wise, and what's your maximum?
To be honest, the way that I'm hitting so successfully for the last year and a half on my own.
Oh, he froze again.
Oh man! Every time we get the good shit out of him, he fucking freezes.
What I usually do, I never play more than a 3-team parlay. Really, I played 1 4-team parlay in a year, but I usually only play a 3-team parlay. And like I said, I do it across sports. Because if I get that hedge on the last game, I love doing like 2 college games and 1 NFL game. So I get to that NFL game, I can at least guarantee myself that I'm not going to lose. So I like doing that.
Ahead,
I'm with you, Dom. I'm on a 3-teamer myself. 3 teams.
Yeah.
Everything else is, unless I'm like I say, I'm swinging. I'm out in Vegas and I'm ready to take that. Bases are loaded.
It's different.
I'm ready to take that swing. You got to do it. That's when you got to do it. But to do it day to day, not so much.
But Poppy, we're talking about if you're on like a 4-team parlay and you hit the 3 legs already on that 4th game. What are you going to do? Are you going to hedge?
Yeah, when you got deep bucks on it, you hedge. Why wouldn't you?
Right. Even if you don't have deep bucks on it, you should hedge it. I agree. Even a $25 parlay, a 4-team will pay you in the $400 or $500 range. So it would be stupid not to guarantee you $100 bucks. It
depends on what your line is, right? You want to make some type of substantial profit based on that. You don't want to cut yourself short. But at the same time, you need to hedge yourself. I agree. If you have access to live betting, we need to utilize this, especially when we're doing early turnover parlays. That's the easiest way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I got. Let me jump in here for a quick question for Noli. Noli, I'm looking at this live line on the Dodgers, man. We could jump in here on the Dodgers plus 295 right now. You think we should do it?
Do the over. The over makes total sense here.
It went to plus 295.
Yep, it jumped. I was looking at the wrong thing on Bookmaker. And that was the minus 20 was at minus 3, but on the money line you could get the Dodgers for plus 295 right here.
Wow.
What's the over at?
My opinion's somewhat biased, but I see Strasburg mowing these guys down.
He'll throw 9 innings tonight. He'll go the whole game.
No, he'll go 7. If he's on, he'll go 7 innings, man.
The point of that, the bet that I made, the Nats first 5, Dodgers team total over, is because of the fact that they are going to get into that bullpen. It's destiny. How can you say they're not? This is such a who do they have back there?
What about a second half over?
The question is,
these guys are the worst.
Yeah, but the question is, are they going to get into the bullpen in the 5th inning or in the bottom of the 7th?
Right.
If they're in the bottom of the 7th and the Nationals are up 5-6-0, you're in trouble.
That's why we take the over right now. If we can get that at like 8.5 or something.
Oh, I got what you're saying. Right.
That's what I'm not saying take the Dodgers money line, but they're going to dig in, and I still think they probably are live to win.
Saying the Dodgers couldn't win the game. It's only the 3rd inning. We have plenty of baseball left. Yeah.
They're going to get some runs. This is going to get runs. These Dodgers are going to crush.
But Strasburg is mowing people down, like Noli said, man. If he goes 7 strong innings, it's going to be tough for the Dodgers. Listen, like I said, the Nats were going to be live. It's going to be tonight. The season is on the line. Are they going to be they got the bad reputation. It all depends on here.
That's what I'm saying. The over makes sense. The Nats are still probably going to be scoring runs, but best believe the Dodgers are going to be digging.
I need one more run. That's all I need.
For the Nats?
Yeah, the Nats team total.
This dude Strasburg is prone to blow up innings. That's how he usually gets hit. He doesn't usually just get dinked on. He usually has a meltdown at some point.
Yeah, but I seen a stat on him. He's only given up like 1 run in like 22 innings or something like that. And
he's been on fire, man.
Yeah, he's rolling right now.
The Nats really came on strong at the end.
So would you say going forward, if you're going to look at the Nats, are you going to bet them first 5s only, or would you trust them to go the whole game?
For this game right now, I'd love to take the over live immediately. But the Nats in the future, I think are going to have value on the first 5 again whenever we get our left-handed pitches back in the National Stadium, because of the fact that when Nationals are in that stadium, I don't know what it is. This is the number 4 ranked home run ballpark in the league. They're going to tee off on these Dodgers pitchers. I'll tell you that for sure.
So you think Ryu gets lit up? That's what you're saying?
Ryu gets lit up. Look at his stats on the road alone this year, despite him having some epic – he's had some very bad performances as of late, and I don't expect that to not continue. I expect him to get hit.
Yeah.
I
know. Yeah, what's that?
Oh, before you go, I was just going to tell you that the line moved down to plus 259. We might have action on the Dodgers in the second half comeback. They come back in the second half all the time. Go ahead.
They
definitely
do.
do.
Early.
If they can find a way to make Strasburg throw some more pitches, I mean, right now he's at like 20 pitches or something like that.
Oh, that's it.
More pitches if they're trying to get into the bullpen.
Oh, that's huge.
I mean, he's only thrown 2 innings, though. You know what I mean? But
that's a great
huge start to go deep already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
that's what I said. If you go 7,
they're gonna have to make him throw some pitches, and I don't know, man. He looks dialed in. That's what I'm.
It's gonna be a good game to watch. I'm gonna end up watching the rest of this game. That's for sure.
I mean, and I don't know about that live over. I see Kershaw's kind of settling in right now, and Strasburg, I see him continue to deal. So I don't know, man.
We could get.
I'm not doing nothing. Sticking with my bet.
We could get under 8.5 at minus 107 right now, Poppy. Oh, Poppy's on froze.
Poppy likes the over.
Yeah, Poppy would like that over. At 8.5, Poppy would like that over for sure.
I think I like the under.
But I'm not touching it. I need the Nats to score 1 more run, and I go 3-0 for the day.
We could get under 9 at minus 148.
Nah.
For some cheating money.
Too much volatility. That's way too much volatility on a live bet and the total. That's too much, too expensive.
No way. Yeah.
That's some cheater money right there.
Yeah. They're trying to cheat me.
I don't know, man. They got second half bets is up to you take
I don't play the live bet. I didn't put a live bet at all in baseball this year.
San Jose State about to score again. Money. Let's get it. San Jose State, bro. That's the best thing smoking right now. Let's get it.
There we go.
You know how many bets I put in the contest, and I think I'm not counting this as a win, no chance in the world. But did everybody get their pick 6 plays in for the contest so far?
Yes,
sir.
Speaking of which, I got 2 more plays to go. I need some NFL on my pick 6.
I got my picks. I just haven't put them in.
Yeah, I put my pick 6s in all NFL this week.
All NFL, huh? You got good looks there.
I'm not. I follow you guys with the college. The college ain't my thing, man. I follow you guys with the college. So
you know that saying. Don't follow me. I'm lost too.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Right.
I'll only bet 2 or 3 college games throughout the week. I don't bet a lot of college games because
I like a lot of underdogs this week.
But I kind of like in the NFL quickly. I kind of like the 49ers, man. They were minus 3.5. I don't like 3.5, but I don't believe in the Browns. I haven't all year. I'm not going to start now. The 49ers are off a bye week. I think they're home. I think they might. Their defense is really good. I think that's a spot, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good look there. I like Garoppolo. I think when that came up in conversation, I said 2 words: Jimmy Garoppolo. That was it.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though
a lot of guys love this whole Browns thing, they love this whole thing, Baker Mayfield. But if they could beat the 49ers, that'll open my eyes.
That's a whole other subject. When you start breaking down teams and coming together as a unit, they have a lot of talent on that Browns team. They really do. Your first year coach, sophomore jinx on the quarterback, a lot of big egos there, a lot of young, I'm going to call it immature, but, maybe not the best minded, I'm not going to say talent because they're very talented, but I want to call them football ready, team ready talent as a team, as a unit.
I got what you're saying.
They haven't got there yet, so it's
not a team yet.
For them. Right. They'd be I'm not going to say they're like the Raiders, but, if you had to do that same scenario, just put the Browns a little bit above the Raiders, and with all that circus act stuff you got going around, it's the same type of thing with the Browns right now. But
if you could switch the coaching staff with the Raiders on the Browns would be a way better. If you had more of a guidance, I think that's what you're trying to say. Like as far as like the guidance for the Browns,
more
they don't
or
really
less.
have a guidance. They're not all the way complete all the way around as far as play calling and actual production on the court on the field. If you look at the coaching and what they bring into what the Raiders have, they don't have that much talent like the Browns. So I understand what you said. They were in the same shit.
Yeah, they're real young. You know, they basically they had a fire sale in Oakland last year when they got rid of Khalil Mack and the wide receiver when they made the trade to Dallas. You know, because they knew that they were going to get a bunch of young guys in the draft. You know, they paid a big price to get rid of top talent. But you know, Gruden is going to be there for 10 years, so he says, you know what? I'm cleaning house and I'm bringing in I'm going to get all these Clemson, Alabama players. I'm going to get them in from the ground up, and I'm going to go get some free agents, and we'll see what happens. And he's got his guy in Carr. Carr's a good quarterback, you know, and he figured he's going to get Brown, but, you know, that worked out for him. So that's a whole other story in itself, too. But NFL, let me tell you something. The NFL, the league has got what they want with these teams as far as parity. They have very few elite teams in the league, and I'd probably say like 95% of the teams in the league, any given Sunday, like they always say, could beat any team. You know, New England's going to be New England. We got to give them credit for that. And then outside of New England and maybe Kansas City, you know, as far as talent goes, you know, offensively speaking, I don't see a lot of teams matching up with them. Now, the big surprise, not really surprise, is how stout New England's defense is. You know, they played a pretty pedestrian game last week against Buffalo, and Buffalo had something to do with that, obviously. But, you know, Brady had one of his worst looks in a long, long time, going back maybe like a decade or so. You know, very, very rough game for him. And usually when they put that kind of effort out, you know what happens the next week with New England. So just put you on warning, whoever's going to bet against New England this week, I wouldn't do it if I was you. I would
are they
stay
banged
off.
up
If you're
on
not on New
offense,
England,
though?
okay.
Aren't they banged up on offense or no?
Well, they always have. Edelman came back in that game.
Okay.
But it was more on Brady's. It was more on Brady's part than anything else. You know.
Yeah, I
just
see
had
the
a real bad
highlights.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, and then you know, then you have week to week. You know, you have like a team like the Rams. You know, they're supposed to be an explosive team. They have a lackluster game against the Bucs. They look like shit. And then last night they played a great game, even though they wound up on a losing side. You know, that was an exciting game. That was more like a Rams type game to me. You know, a game like that.
I thought for sure they were going to win that game. I won the bet because it was 1.5 points. One of those lucky 1.5 points out of one. But I really.
Oh my God. That game last night, I did an alternative line -1.5 for the Rams.
Oh wow! Wow!
What a dick!
Man.
What a
Greg DeLay, man. He's like Mr. Automatic.
I had him on my fucking fantasy league, man. The fucking kicker.
How about if you had Seattle?
Legatron.
If you lay 1.5 and you win by 1, that's got to be the sickest feeling in the world too.
Take that shit.
I mean,
that was a wild game. Hey, I can't complain. That was great. You know what I mean?
You see, I'm not going to take.
If you back the Rams, you're a winner.
I'm not betting.
I'm a winner in my heart. In my heart, I'm a winner.
I'm not betting Seattle. I'm not betting a team -1.5. I'm betting the money line. I'm not betting the 1.5. That's not happening.
There you go.
That was my mantra with the Rams. Like they're winning this game.
Uh-oh.
Just don't fucking bet the Falcons this week.
Go away.
Just don't fucking bet the Falcons. The Falcons is fucking trash.
Hey, that's gonna be
I don't
interesting.
say that shit enough on this damn
That's
channel.
gonna be an interesting game too.
What
do you guys think?
Trash, bro.
What do you guys think about this under in the Bills game?
What is it?
I think it's 38.5 here.
Oh, jeez. I mean,
you know what would be good?
A lot of players.
You know what would be a good teaser? We do Jacksonville 6.5 with the under 38.5. So we get 45 for the Bills game going under, and then we get Jacksonville at +9, +10.
Yeah,
that sounds solid. I think that's my play. That's my play of the day.
This guy just ran about 60 yards on Cincinnati to the 10-yard line right before the half. I mean, the third quarter. First and goal, Cincinnati.
So what you saying, Noli, is the Dodgers are
Carolina's defense been playing pretty good too.
Are we cooked?
The Dodgers are cooked?
Yes or no?
It's the third inning. Whoa.
That game seems like it's been playing all night the way you guys are talking.
It's the third fucking inning. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I'm trying to make a move on it. I'm trying to learn this live betting thing. I'm trying to make
it should go over. The game's going over. Clayton Kershaw's getting hit some more. The bullpen's getting hit some more.
What's your live bet on the over?
I don't know.
Here's the thing about the overs, though. Now, DJ, when you're looking at your computer on the live betting for the total, right? Poppy says take the over. But you got to realize when you bet live, you have multiple overs and unders that you can bet, and it's a price adjusted to the number that's on the screen.
I'm seeing that.
How many runs do you think, Poppy? How many runs in the game? Dom, how many runs in the game? You got a beat on the game, do you know? Anybody?
It's going to be 9 runs.
Oh, 9?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'd say like about 9 too, yeah.
You can get to bet 5. What's the odds on 5?
It's going to be like minus 500.
You could get over 7.5 at minus 136, over 8 at 112, over
I like that 8.
Over 8.5 at plus 109.
No, 8, I wouldn't take that.
I take
8. If I was going to take the over, it would be over the 8. I would take the 8, not the 8.5.
Yeah, 8 at 112 is good.
Listen to your compadres over here, man.
Yeah.
But I got the Nats team total over 4, over 3.5.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
What about a team?
I got these Nats first 5, and I'm going to cash.
I ain't doing nothing else. I'm not touching anything else. I'm not.
DJ, what about a team total on they got an adjusted total for the Nats on the game?
I don't see a team total for
they do that live too? Team totals?
Yeah.
And the adjusted, I would have on the Dodgers adjusted team total.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry, the Dodgers.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
they got adjusted.
That's ridiculous.
You can get the Dodgers plus 2 at plus 131. You can get the Dodgers plus 2.5 at minus 106.
There you go. That might be the value there.
The team total over. The Dodgers are hitting 4. I'm telling you.
4.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Noli.
I mean, I like the faith. You know.
Okay, so if the Dodgers are hitting 4, right, and the Nats are up 3-0, so that's 7 right there.
So we like the 8. The over 8 makes sense. That's why I like that.
That's only 7 though.
So if it goes 4-4, then you're automatic winner.
But I'm saying they're getting at least that many. So most likely there'll be more runs from the Nats.
Yeah, I can see 5 runs for sure.
I don't know. 7's a key number for me.
7's it, right?
What is it? Football?
Yeah,
touchdown.
You'd be surprised, man.
Listen,
they also have 7th innings on Bovada. That's a good look.
Yeah, I like that one. I really like that
one. What was that one? I'm sorry, I missed that.
First 7. I don't think that they're too good for these postseason games though. In regular season,
have we taken it as soon as they got that third run, and then you take that live first 7 under
touchdown Cincinnati?
Spot, you know, you get some value on that.
UCF is an L.
Chalk the W up for the big Ragoo on Cincinnati tonight.
Nice.
I go against my own team in Central Florida.
Good call. Good call, man.
That's what I show you.
I can't make a bet without Ragoo's permission next time, man. I've been getting my
ass. We can't mess with the South without the blessing. Like that.
Yeah.
I need your permission, Ragoo. I can't be spending my money for no reason.
You guys know I back the Seminoles. I back them. I'm a Seminoles fan, but they're off this week, so I'm saving money.
How about Miami? Miami's not covering that number on tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Right? Me and DJ talked about that, too. We both don't think that Virginia Tech – I mean, we both don't think Miami is going to be up on that number, right, DJ? We talked about that game.
Yeah.
We think Virginia Tech. We know Virginia Tech is not in the greatest of you know, they got some issues with, and the head coach, the coaches is really bad right now in Virginia Tech, and that's a little bit of disarray. They say that they're looking to get Fuentes out of there. They're trying to figure out how to buy him out of his contract. Their defensive coordinator has been there for over 30-plus years. He's retiring. He announced his retirement before the season started. So it's not panning out this year for Virginia Tech. And when we looked at it early in the year, we had Virginia Tech as the top 2 teams up in the Coastal Division, but not so much. You know, Virginia's doing their thing, but Virginia Tech not so much. So Miami, it is a big number, but Miami offensive line, they still have some issues, and the quarterback, they went with their third stringer that's now the starter. So,
do you think? What do you think about the under for Virginia's total? Virginia Tech's team total under for that game.
Virginia Tech or Virginia?
Virginia versus Miami.
Oh, Virginia. What is it, like 50-something, 55?
No, the total. The total. Team total.
Oh, team total for Miami or Virginia Tech?
Or Virginia Tech.
What is it? You know what? My hand.
I wouldn't trust it, Poppy. I wouldn't trust it because Miami does have a good lockdown D, but sometimes some teams find the key to the city and able to score a couple points here and there. So I wouldn't trust Virginia Tech on that.
No Virginia Tech total. It's at it's at 16.
16. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
All they need is a turnover here and a touchdown there, and then
2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Yeah, it might be hard for them to do down there though. They have a lot of issues. They've scored some points against some weaker teams, and then they've had some weaker teams that's kind of took them down to the wire too. So.
What about Auburn tomorrow? I'm on that play tomorrow.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because number one, I'm not a big fan of the Gators. I'm a fan of the way they play football, but I'm not a fan per se. I like the Gators a lot.
Oh shit! Oh no!
I know a lot of people on Auburn, and when Drew Martin tells me that, and I caught this late in the show today. He says that he's an Auburn alumni. He says he kind of favors the Gators. He thinks that Nix has kind of struggled on the road a little bit, even though he's been successful. And a lot of people are already anointing this kid as a team to he's doing all these great things, which he is. He's holding the team down. He's not making the mistakes, but he's doing enough to get by. Okay, so when you go in front, and I've been to football games up here in Gainesville, 90,000 people in the swamp. It's a very raucous atmosphere. And the last time I've been to a game in there was when his dad was quarterback in 1994. That's how long ago I've been to Florida State games, but other teams I've never been to a game in the Gainesville Stadium. But it's a tough place to play.
Oh man!
And the Gainesville, and you're giving the Gators points at home, and the Gators defense, they're giving up less than 3 yards a carry. Okay. And Auburn, they don't have a prolific offense.
Right.
They're not going to be able to stretch the field down. So this is a game that I would lean with the Gators, and I would lean under in this game too. So, but I would definitely take the side. I would take the Gators on the money line. I would take the plus. I would take it. They give me like plus 135, 140, 145, whatever it is. I would take that.
Auburn's first L coming to the Gators.
I think Auburn loses tomorrow. I mean, a lot of people it's going to be more of a contrarian play, but I think when the number bounces up a little bit, which I don't think it will, but if it goes, let's say, to 3.5, I think the Sharps will be all over that and they'll buy it back down to 3.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it right here first on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Lounge. Friday, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Man, we got to wrap this bad boy up, man. I got to get a little rest. Do some more capping for the closing line. Catch me and Big Ragoo, the boss and the sauce, on the closing line Saturday morning, 8 a.m. on the West Coast, and that's 11 a.m. on the East Coast. And don't forget, if you haven't seen the Boss and the Sauce Show, it is up. You can go check out the Boss and the Sauce Show. We did a review of the Big Ten, so we got some exciting picks on the Big Ten over there. I'm liking Minnesota laying the 14. And Big Ragoo's like in Michigan. So stay tuned with that stuff. And also sometime tomorrow, keep your head up for Who-Bangin Sports Talk Baseball with Dom Ricci and Noli Knows right here. And also next week coming to you, we're going to have our guy WHAM coming with some NBA previews on the WHAM Talk for the NBA. So we got a lot of things going on. So we got to stay rested. We got to stay blessed, and we got to stay full of energy. And we really thank you, Parlay Poppy, for joining. Parlay Poppy, when you going to come join us some more? Where can these people find you, man? You're such an excellent capper, man. We've been here with you for years now. We've been seeing every joke thrown at you, man. You're you slice right
You
through
roll
all
with
the
the
drama.
punches.
You slice right through all the drama, but when you lay it down on the line, man, you're an excellent capper. You got a record to prove it, and you're an awesome guy overall to meet you in person, man. We had a lot of fun on our trip out there to Miami and back. I really enjoyed you. I missed you. We was looking for you to come out for the LA Lowbagger thing, but we got in touch with you too late. But next time we do something, man, definitely got to hang out with you again. Maybe we catch the races over at the Low Sal or something. But thanks all my guys right here in this chat, man, just for being there for me and helping out with everything needed. I appreciate each and every one of you individually and as a group. But we're gonna give a big shout out to our chat right here. Lock City says he's been watching Low Bag and us for years, and he's having a wonderful time hanging out with us. And this is a special group right here, especially if you watch the Low Bag show. This is everything you see in the morning and the late show. This is it live.
Wham,
Whoa.
live.
Whoa. But we're gonna head out of here, man. Thanks for joining us on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Lounge every Friday night.
Thank you, guys.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Hey.
Much love. See you guys later.
Cash those tickets, guys, and we'll see you at the window.
See you at the window.
Cash the buck.
Go with the unders. Go with the buck. Wham Talk. DJ BigBoss. Big Ragoo. We love everybody. Peace.